This perfume beats all expectations on all levels. Give me a niche or designer fragrance that will outperform Oud Al Layl. I will wait. I did say. Oud Al Layl, beast mood. Beast mood. Beast mood. Beast mood fragrance. It's a beast mood fragrance. I don't know how many times I've said that, but this is a beast mood fragrance. I need to make it clear that this is a beast mood fragrance. Oud Al Layl, this is a beast mood fragrance. This is a beast mood fragrance. Whatever words YouTubers use to express, I don't know if it's the wood inside, or is it wood or wood, whatever it is that's dangling inside this fragrance. I don't know if that's what's making the astral projections on this very fragrance. I don't know, for real, because this doesn't even feel normal. It looks like it comes from a different realm. It's not like I don't have other sick fragrances, but this guy just deserves a special place. I really don't know if this happens to other perfume reviewers, but I feel like there are fragrances where you just pick up and there's everything to say about them. You just have the right words at the right time. It looks like you've already developed a muscle memory on all the characteristics of that fragrance. So it's easy to present. This very fragrance wasn't so easy for me. There is a lot of complexities with this very fragrance. This is not the most flexible Middle Eastern fragrances you can find. I'll start by the presentation of this fragrance. This fragrance feels good. It has some roots in there. The bottle feels very premium, extremely premium. This is just value on steroids. It just baffles me, flummoxes me how something this outstanding can be so affordable. What's really happening in this Middle Eastern space is it feels like there's something we are yet to be let in, because I will never understand why a fragrance with this integrity, with this personality, with this character, with this posture can be sold for the price that it's constantly being sold at. I will never understand it. This perfume really made me realize what good marketing can do to a fragrance, because if you market a terrible fragrance correctly, you can easily sell it for any amount, and people would even be so market blind that they don't get to pay attention to any other product. They just lose their mind and it's a rave of the new product or the product that's being marketed and all that. I just found out there's that loop, there's that situation going on in the fragrance space and community, and people are always just in that loop where a particular perfume is being hyped, and based on how much it's been hyped, people flock. There is an influx of people towards that direction. And then surprisingly enough, I like to be on the other side of the fence. So whilst everybody is flocking hard on a particular perfume fragrance from any of these houses that is leading with the marketing strategy, I get to take my time and study the ones that are doing the magic, the real thing in that whole space. And I got to realize that the perfumes that do the biggest jobs are not the loudest. And I understand it. I can get the standpoint of sellers, because a seller would be more inclined to sell a more expensive perfume to you because that is where the money is, as opposed to selling you something cheap that will definitely outclass the expensive perfumes. So it's a very easy algorithm, easy fix. But I'm here to help you decipher that whole complex situation with this very fragrance. And don't get it twisted. I understand a lot of people have showed up with different terminologies, definitions of beast mode, how a fragrance is a beast mode, performed, how it's amazing, how it's insane, people have said all kinds of things to connote a fragrance staying power. So when I say beast mode, it definitely means a fragrance staying power to exceed or to be exceedingly. But in a situation where I spend 15K, I got it for about 15K, and it does literally the same or seemingly the same thing that my 400K fragrance or perfume is doing, that bothers me. To be very honest, that really bothers me. That bothers me. This fragrance is value on steroids. This fragrance is so good. This fragrance is so good that if this fragrance was a footballer, this would definitely be Messi. If this fragrance went to church, was a Christian, this would be the Pope. He would be somewhere in the Vatican City. If this fragrance was a comedian, this would be Bovi. That has to be the level. That has to be the pinnacle. This stuff is just good. And it breaks my heart whenever I try to make an attempt on reviewing this fragrance, because I get to not have the right words to communicate. For what this fragrance does for me, I always feel extremely bad when I try to want to review this fragrance, because it's difficult to return that favor. I feel like it's extremely very difficult to return the favor. I tried to make people understand or see that, this is on a different planet, this is on a different realm. But no matter how much you say that, it's a plethora of people who will still assume that, it's just another YouTuber trying to just sound some way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a monster. This is the strongest perfume I have in my collections, right? I have some insanely strong fragrances, I would say, but I don't have any fragrance that is stronger than this. They could be this strong, but not stronger than this. This is extreme. In a scale of 1 to 10, if you ask me to rate this fragrance based on longevity, I am giving it straight 10. I'm not looking back. If you ask me the sillage on this very fragrance in a scale of 1 to 10, I am giving it straight 20. If I'm asked to give the projection of this very fragrance in a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving straight 100. This is mad. This is value on steroids. I love it. I love how this scent profile holds. I love how it was made. There's so much harmony in this accord, in this very scent. It's an orchestra it's rich. There's symphony. You can tell that this was job well done. This fragrance is good on all levels. This is a floral scent. If you are into that kind of vibe, this is not a cloying floral note. It's not the deepest kind of rose you will smell. Not also the brightest kind of rose you smell. It sits somewhere in the middle, and it's doing just well exactly where it's sitting. The middle note on this one is amber and musk, while the base note is agarwood. I promise you, the kind of oud you get on this is not the conventional skanky animalic oud. No. The name of this fragrance is entire opposite of what this fragrance is about. Oud Al Layl. You would naturally think that oud, being oud, the conventional kind of oud, would be like oud. It's hardly a fragrance you see and just lean towards trying to experiment, because the name already would have discouraged you. Oud Al Layl. You would already assume that it's not so many people out there who are big on oud scent profiles. So you would think it's that kind of fragrance, but definitely not. This is not that kind of fragrance. This is an entirely different kind of oud. It is sweet oud. It lacks every property of the conventional oud you will know or would have been exposed to. This very fragrance smells sweet, smells so good. It's a spicy floral blast. Did I mention it's also very difficult to get a nose big to this fragrance? In my suggestions and my advice is try not to spread this fragrance below your beards. For men with beards now, yeah? Or behind your ears. This guy is going to pierce your tympanic membrane and hit your inferior nasal concha. You don't want to take that risk on this. This is strong. I'm giving you the heads up. Don't be that guy trying to choke yourself to death. Oud Al Layl is a big recommendation. There's a chance that this may be my perfume of the year, but I have some. Wing Lady introduced me into some deep scent profiles in her collections that blew me away. And I'm very much open to reviewing a good amount of those fragrances and also giving my honest review and feedback based on end user experience. For this, I give Wing Lady her thumbs up. I give her her flowers. All she said about this fragrance is what I got from this fragrance. This is this is a punch. This is a blast. I was going to leave to work this morning, and I felt I should stop by and just throw my thoughts on this. And whenever I have serious work to do, I do that with Oud Al Layl. Oud Al Layl sets the tone for me. It sets me in motion. This gives me the confidence. For most perfumes, you just get a cloud around you at arm's length, projection, performance, and all that stuff. This doesn't do arm's length. This does territories. You enter an eatery, you are the only person smelling there. You enter a car, you take ownership. You enter an office, it's all about you. You enter just about anywhere, a class, your colleagues will definitely, that reminds me, this is not for teenagers. If you're preparing for jam classes, you don't have any business with Oud Al Layl. If you are well below 25, I'm not sure you want to mess with the scent profile. Usually, I would just say from 30. What's my conclusion on this one? Wherever you can find this perfume. Buy 10. Just get yourself 10 years supply. There is no need taking the risk of or assuming that you'll always find this perfume in the next I'm so scared for myself that even in the next 6 months you may not even find this fragrance. I have some I managed to keep as reserve. I still feel like I need more of this very fragrance because this is just too good for what you're paying. Whenever I use this fragrance, sometimes I feel guilty. You know, when you use something and you feel like, is this possibly right in the sight of God? Like, is God happy with me for doing this? This is not proper. If these Middle Eastern guys had some kind of platform where you can dash money or some coin, I would probably just send them money and just feel like I'm paying part of the balance of this fragrance. This is good. Once you buy this, you're indebted to this family, Arabiyat, and you can never pay them. You will never return this favor. This is eternal. You live to tell your kids that you were favored at one point in your life. You broke even. This perfume is a break even. This is a movement. If you can get as much as you can, have an extra backup bottle. 2, 3, that's fine. 4, amazing. You will definitely need this. You will definitely need this. Usually when I run into fragrances, I feel like my nasal facilities will like to explore for or sustain for a long time. I get to buy as much as an extra bottle or 2. That's my advice on this. Don't say I didn't tell you. I'm afraid be a time you walk into a shop looking for this fragrance and they don't have it. Don't wait until that time. Don't be that guy who walks in there and said, had I known, buy it today. Usually when I spray this fragrance, I get to pick this 2 days even after. It's not like you're picking weaves, you're picking it heavily, like you just spread it towards evening or in the morning or something. The projection here and how strong in the opening this fragrance is not enough. You can't classify it, you can't say it's glowing. There's some covalent bonding happening here. If it's not your kind of DNA, scent profile, then I can understand this is not your cup of tea. But if by any chance you have no problems with well-groomed rose, saffron, and musk, even though I get to pick some oak moss here. I'm not sure it's listed in the components of this fragrance, but oak moss is just there. But then there's musk here, which I'm not so good at picking musk. I struggle with that scent profile. But definitely saffron here is all over my nose. The projection is a beast. It's a blast. The sillage is uncanny. This perfume will make Red Tobacco by Mancera feel like an average perfume in projection and longevity. I allowed mine to macerate for a while. I think it's been macerated. This thing is strong and I love it so much. This is all about value. If this fragrance was into snooker, this would be FNRS. This is the strongest Middle Eastern fragrance I know. If you have any ones, you can make your recommendations in the comment section. This stuff is strong. You know, there are perfumes where some people come with some subjective perspective. This is the one fragrance that everybody agreed on one thing. The whole fragrance community agreed that this is a beast mode fragrance and there is no hype to it. The beauty behind this fragrance is the fact that even people who don't like this fragrance admit that this is a beast mode fragrance. This is all shades of extreme. That's my summary on this very fragrance. I have done something for you this year. If I've not done anything, if you've not watched any other review from me this year, settle with this. If you do not get to watch my reviews anymore, just buy this and you are fine. This is value on steroids.